You've seen the numbers. I've seen the numbers. People thought that if you took away the benefits that were helping so many people who were unemployed, that people would go back to work. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. Renters protection, the moratorium. They thought, okay, if we lift this, they'll go back to work. It didn't happen. We have to start talking. We have to start being open and honest with each other. What is it going to take to get you back? It doesn't have to be a new normal. It can be just get back. We need you on every front that's available. We need your creativity. The next generations that follow us need you to be there. Because the more you stay away, the more they, in the future, they will say, I want to be like them. They didn't have to do anything except for stay home and do their own thing. Unplugged, because we will always say yes to creativity, totally uncut, because we all make mistakes. This is Arroe Unplugged. Wow. So bad I want to cuss. I do. I want to say some foul words. But why? You happen to step inside this place that guarantees that it's going to be an uplift. And if I were to use foul words, I think it would put you in a place where you don't need to be. But my daily writing this morning, man, it's not what you dreamed when putting words into formation. Being truthful between us, okay? And you can go all the way back into March, maybe 13th, 14th of 2020. And that's where I said, look, we have to talk about COVID. We have to talk about COVID. This can't be something that we attach ourselves to several years down the road and say, oh, this is what it was like. We have to talk about COVID. The daily writing you never dreamed of putting into word formation. Not one, but 3 of my family members up in Montana are in the hospital because of COVID-19. My mother, my sister, and my brother. It's very tough to write about. And the reason why is because my heart has been consumed with nearly 2 years of headlines. And you have read them too. I never brought up the vaccination with any of them. And the reason why is because it's a very sore place for a lot of relationships. And if they didn't support it, I didn't want to start a fight. And if they did support it, I still didn't want to go into that conversation. I wasn't going to challenge what I believed was our spirit of love. I put that love first. And now I'm wondering, you know what? Maybe I should have picked that fight. They made the decision. They wouldn't listen to me anyway because their sibling, who is several thousand miles away, doesn't have the physical strength to change the minds of the hard-headedness that comes with my family. My writing instrument is almost near silence right now. The heart is wrapped up in a situation that it couldn't predict and or prepare for. I hold in my arms the presence of a living God. For the path being played out belongs to his story now. Hey, it's Arroe. This is The Daily Mess, a chronological walk through an everyday world. I am a daily writer. My guarantee to you has always been to be just upfront and truthful. Or, as I say these days, truth-filled. There's a difference between truthful and truth-filled. Living in the presence of now, being open and honest in your present place of now, because this is what we have control over, not the past. I can't go back and not take that phone call again. I can't predict what's going to happen to my family tomorrow, the day after, the day after. I have to be able to live in this present place of now and make huge decisions, because this is the way of the walk. This is the Daily Mess. Do you ever stare at a writing instrument and think, WTF? Do you ever put your hands on a computer and begin to write and think, WTF? Lives can change due to the ink stuffed within the words that we write. It has an impact not only for this generation, but the multiple generations that will follow us. What I feel as being boring or uneventful today might actually be very welcoming on a different day. My handwriting is far from being pretty, but the love put into each stroke of the instrument is very real. I'm trying to reach the future reader. making the effort to be present in a long, long away place of developing thought. And so, the method of madness that reigns inside the depth of my purpose is that of a calling or command to always prepare to rise through darkness. For there cannot be any light tomorrow without a ray of hope becoming light. This isn't a challenge, and it isn't being offered to change. Awareness is the first reaction to all things moving. Awareness is the first reaction to all things moving. You're moving. You're experiencing. You're taking in, you're pushing away. You're leaning to the left, you're leaning to the right. You're taking steps back. Awareness is the reaction to all things moving. What are you doing that you're aware of? Or more importantly, what aren't you doing? What should you become aware of? My first wife used to tell me all the time, if it's not happening now, it never did happen. That's the way she lived her life. And I would look at her and go, okay, I get it, but I don't get it. And yet now today, because I live in the presence of now, and I believe to be mindfully present and aware of what is now, I understand that, but I'm not going to take it to the realm or the height that she did. Because I do believe yesterday did occur, and I also believe that in 15, 20 minutes, an hour, or maybe 3-4 days, weeks, months up the road, that's going to exist as well. But to deny your mind, body, and soul of something not happening, because if it's not happening now, it didn't ever happen. You got to become aware, and it has to be your first reaction to all things moving. It's so simple to rewrite history or to create your own fake news because it's accepted to say, okay, that didn't happen back then because I'm going to tell you what really did happen today. And it's like, wait a second. There was an insurrection on January 6th, 2021, and now they're saying the real insurrection was on Election Day? I went too far. I did not mean to do that, but I'm just giving you an example to hold on to. How much are you rewriting your story? Awareness, becoming aware of how you present yourself on social media. Is that really you? I'll tell you what I do. I'll put some stuff up there, and then I go back and I go, too much. They don't need to see that side of my darkness. And a few people will write and say, wow, can't believe you took it there. And I'm going, please, Jesus, don't let anybody else see this. Take it down. Awareness is the first reaction to all things moving. Are you aware of you? I'm Arroe, and that's the Daily Mess.